24 hours in the day, and most of that time is either spent sleeping, eating, or maybe studying if you're a student. Successful English language students have good study habits, while unsuccessful ones often don't. So how do we help our students create good study habits outside of the English language classroom? Let's find out.
Hi, my name's Damien Herlihy and I'm one of Pavilion ELT's vloggers in 2020. In this series, I'll be talking about using the internet as a virtual textbook for our students to study English at home. If you didn't see the first episode, watch it now because it gives a good overview of the concept. You'll find it in the description below. But this episode, we're going to be talking about study habits and look at a range of online tools that can help students stick to those habits. In the literature, there's countless books and articles about goal setting and motivation. Goals are important, and in the space of self-directed learning, Brian Morrison has some great ideas. He gives a good overview in his English Teaching Professional article, or if you want to go deep on this topic, give his book, The Autonomy Approach, a go. However, this video is going to take a much narrower approach and look at habits, English study habits.
Why habits? Well, habits are so important because the effects of habits multiply as you repeat them. Have a look.
For example, a student reading a graded reader for 10 minutes doesn't have much impact, but do it over a year and the benefits can be enormous. Paul Nation calculated if you read for 10 minutes for 5 days a week and an average reading speed of 150 words per minute, you could learn the top 3,000 words in English in 1 year. So how do we help students continue a good habit, like reading, every day? 2 words, habit track. This idea links back to a famous quote from Jerry Seinfeld. A young comedian, Brad Isaac, asked Seinfeld if he had any writing tips. Jerry said the best way to improve was to write every day and cross it off on a calendar. Every day you write, put a cross on the calendar. Seinfeld finished by saying, "After a few days you'll have a chain. Just keep at it and the chain will grow longer every day. You'll like seeing that chain, especially when you get a few weeks under your belt. Your only job is to not break the chain." James Clear, in his book, Atomic Habits, defined the benefits of habit tracking as follows. 1. Creates a visual cue that can remind you to act. 2. Is inherently motivating because you see the progress you are making and don't want to lose it. And 3. Feels satisfying whenever you record another successful instance of your habit. When I look back at some of my most successful learning projects, they've always involved an element of habit tracking. For example, in Give It 100 a few years ago, I posted up a video every day for 100 days of my progress in studying the ukulele. While more recently, in studying Thai, I used HabitTracking, an online tool to help you track your habits. But before I talk about these habit tracking tools and how to use them with your students, I want to take you to the kitchen and tell you about poisoned Teflon. At the 2014 English Australia Conference, I gave a presentation on how to integrate technology at a school-wide level. In the presentation, I talked about the idea of poisoned Teflon, thinking you're using a really useful tool that can help your students, but in actual fact, this tool is probably doing more harm by wasting their time and energy. In this series, before I recommend any tool to you, I'll always be asking myself these 4 questions to make sure that this tool is worthy of your time. Number 1, how much time does it take to learn a tech tool for teachers and students? Number 2, How often will that tech tool be used by a student? Number 3, what's the pedagogic value of that particular tech tool? And number 4, how much data does the student have to give to access that tech tool? These questions will help me avoid those poison Teflon tools that are going to waste your time. Okay, back to habit tracking. Okay, now I'm going to show you 3 habit tracking tools from the easiest to the hardest. Tool 1. Okay, the first option is really, really low tech. All you need is paper and a pen. First step, the student writes down a habit to track. James Clear believes when you start habit tracking, it's better to start out small and build it up from there. So for example, in the first week, students should aim for only 5 minutes reading a day, then after that, start adding more reading time. Whenever a student completes the reading time, they put a cross in the box. The goal is not to break the chain. In the description, you'll find a PDF you could use with your students to track habits. Tool 2. Okay, option 2 requires a little bit more technology. It's an application called Tele. And Tele allows you to track habits once again, except you're using an online tool to do this rather than paper and pen. So let's dive into the app and I'll quickly show you how students could use this tool to track their habits. Okay, this is the homepage for the app Tele. If we want to add a new habit to track, we press plus. And for example, let's type in read for 5 minutes a day. Alright, so that's it. And then we can reset the Tele to never because we just want to keep tracking it. And then you can decide which days. So let's say a student wants to read 5 days a week and have the weekend off. So we can track Monday. Oh no. There we go. So we track Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We can create groups because you can put multiple habits up here to Tele. So we'll put that one under language, or you could use English. We want it to go up 1 point for each time we read for 5 minutes. Count starts at 1. You can also set a target. So maybe our goal for the first time is to do this, I don't know, 20 times during the month. So that's over 4 weeks. Then you can choose your color. Let's make it yellow, which is associated with studying. And you can also add a note, so a bit more details. You're going to read like a extensive reader, let's say top 1,000 words. Alright, so that one's done. Then we can save that. And you can see it appears up here, read for 5 minutes. Now the simple thing is, each day, all I have to do is Tele. So we click, and that means we've tracked our habit of reading 5 minutes today. And then we can go back. Then you can see like the graph will show you how many times you've done this. So obviously you'll get more data appearing in the bar graph when the student reads more. There's also, you can write notes here, which could be good for reflection. What could they reflect on? Maybe top 1,000, too hard, drop back to 750. Okay, so you can make little little reflection note. So yeah, that is Tele. As you can see, it's very simple to use. Now Tele is a iOS app, but there's many different versions of habit tracking apps which you can get on iOS or Android. This one is free for tracking 3 habits. So if you want to go above and track more habits than that, then you need to purchase the app. Tool 3. Okay, the final tool we're looking at for habit tracking is HabitTracking, or is it HabitTracking? I'm not sure. Anyway, this tool is probably the most complex out of the 3. It's a web-based app, so you can use it on your desktop or as an application on your mobile phone. With this tool, it can do a lot more than just habit track. So let's go in and have a look at its full features. Okay, this is the dashboard where you come in after you create an account. Because I clicked on school, it already gave me some pre-created habits. And you can see there's 3 columns. You have, well, 4 columns, sorry. You have habits, dailies, to-do, and rewards. So this one, it gives you a lot more as it ties in with, I suppose, the science of habits and goal settings. So let's have a look at habits first. If you look under habits, you can see there's an easy way to add. You just click in the top here. Let's return to our same habit of reading for 5 minutes a day in English. So we click enter. That one's now created. If we want to edit it, we can just go in here. Once again, you can add notes, so it can be level 2 graded reader, 750 top words, and then you can either make it a positive or negative. So we'll turn off negative and make it a positive attribute. You can also decide on the challenge. So for you can create tags as well. So let's do school, but you can also add or create your own tags. Daily streak, and you can also adjust your streak here. All right, so you can see we have here, we can then click on the plus sign, and you can see down here, there's a little +1. So we can then track. So say with the advantage of this one, if you read 2 times in a day, then you can click again. And over here you have dailies, so you can be a bit more specific with dailies. You can talk about which days you want to do the habit. You can actually put in a start date as well and notes. And then over here you have your to-do list. So you can, as you can see in the example here, you can put, final assignment for English class, and put the details. And also there's a reward section. So I suppose a lot of motivational theory talks about rewards. So you can put in a rewards, like they got here, watch TV for 20 minutes. Might be after you finish your reading. Though that doesn't sound quite right. 20 minutes, maybe you get 2 minutes for 5 minutes reading. You can see there's a lot more you can do with this. I've used it with my Thai study, and I like how you can add a lot more details than purely habit tracking. There is also a gamification element. You can see up here you have your avatar and you get health. So every time you're achieving your targets or you're in your habit tracking or goals, you'll start getting more points. And over here you can then buy these rewards with those points. So it's got quite a strong gamification element to it. For me, it doesn't really appeal that much to me. But I think with some students, they quite like the gamification side of it as well. The final thing you can do is you can actually create groups, which is something I haven't done, but I was thinking in a new class, I might set up a group on HabitTracking and set up in that group all the sort of tasks students can do at home to improve their English, and then students can check off or habit track those tasks and see each other and support each other in their habits. All right, so that is HabitTracking. How would you recommend your students to track habits? Leave a comment below. Oh, and also remember to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any further videos or updates. Next time I'll be focusing on the skill of reading. And remember, if you ever notice a student starting to skip a habit, tell them this quote from James Clear. Missing once is an accident. Missing twice is the start of a new habit.